Welcome to ReadSoft Invoices product overview. In this presentation you will learn what the ReadSoft Invoices solution is capable of. You will understand the process of an invoice document from input to output. You will understand the different production and administration modules. You will also get an understanding of the system architecture. For product demonstrations and more information, please see the ReadSoft training portal. Many organizations are overwhelmed by the amount of paper they receive and deal with every day. With ReadSoft Invoices, you can reduce the amount of manual steps and the amount of paper documents sent back and forth in your organization simply by use of the scanner to produce an electronic copy of the paper document. ReadSoft Invoices has reduced the handling of paper documents and increased the accuracy and automation of accounts payable processes for thousands of customers around the world. ReadSoft Invoices is an automated modular system for processing of accounts payable documents such as purchase orders and general expenses. The benefits of ReadSoft Invoices are many. Improved data quality, increased productivity, and faster turnaround and final payment of the invoice are just a few examples. ReadSoft Invoices utilize OCR and other intelligent methods to capture, extract, and validate data of invoice documents. ReadSoft Invoices is able to automatically determine the supplier, buyer, and also capture and extract the data fields needed to process and pay the invoice. Invoice documents can be received from a number of sources: scanned paper invoices, email attachments, XML files, and invoices received by a fax. When all data is extracted and validated to be correct, the metadata along with the image file will be transferred into the next coming system. This is typically an approval workflow or an ERP system. Some of the key features of ReadSoft Invoices. It's easy to implement and configure. ReadSoft Invoices comes delivered with standard profiles for capture of purchase orders and general expenses. Custom profiles can easily be created to accommodate capture of semi-structured documents or applications where you know what data you're looking for, but not necessarily the location of the fields. ReadSoft Invoices utilize self-learning technology to automatically understand, train, and learn the layout of your supplier invoices. This will allow for the system to determine the origin of the invoice and apply the supplier name, supplier number, and so forth. Integrations to vendor master files are common. Automatic capture of line item is one of the highlights of the ReadSoft Invoices product and comes delivered out of the box. ReadSoft Invoices is an ERP independent solution that can interact with any backend system. ReadSoft Invoices consists of 6 modules, all with their own key features. Invoices can be received from a number of different sources. Paper invoices will be scanned in the scan module to produce an electronic file. Invoices in form of attachments to emails or invoices received via fax are imported in the interpret module. Data validation and exception handling are taken care of in the verify module. When data validation is complete, the metadata along with the image file are transferred to the next coming system by use of the transfer module. Manager and optimize modules are administrative tools, not used in daily production. The production modules are used daily to move invoices from its source to the next coming process or final approval and payment. The optimize module is used to fine-tune data and capture rates on supplier level. Finally, the manager module is used to initially set up and configure your system, scanners, and users. The manager module is used in production to monitor and maintain the process of all production invoices. Note that the interpret and transfer modules are run as services on a Windows server. ReadSoft Invoices use client-server architecture, which require an active network connection at all times. The client modules Scan, Verify, Manager, and Optimize are installed on a Windows client PC. The server components Interpret and Transfer are run as a Windows service on a Windows server. Microsoft SQL Server and Oracle database can be used to host the application data. Minimal data is stored in the database long term. An invoice arrives, OCR is performed, the data is validated and later released and transferred to the next coming system. The sizing of a production server depends on the number of invoices to be processed. Virtual server environments and client applications published by Citrix are common. This process describes the flow on an invoice arriving in paper form. The end user put the paper invoice in the scanner to produce an electronic copy. The ReadSoft INVOICES scan module produces black and white TIFF files in 300 dpi resolution. This is optimal for OCR and it keeps the image file size low. When the scanner is empty, the documents are released to the interpret module that runs as a service on a Windows server. The interpret module will identify the supplier, extract and validate the data. Based on the result of interpret, it will assign an appropriate status for the next coming module. If all validations are met, the system can be configured to bypass verify module and hand the invoice over to the transfer module directly. If a required field is missing or the confidence of a field is not high enough, the invoice will be sent to verify module for an end user to look at. When the end user corrects the invoice, it will be released to the transfer module and sent to the next coming system. The ReadSoft INVOICES product is a small but vital part of the complete accounts payable automation solution. When data is extracted and validated and the approval and payment process is started outside of ReadSoft INVOICES. ReadSoft offers certified approval and payment solutions for SAP and Oracle e-business suite. For any other approval workflows or ERP system, a custom integration is needed. This presentation only covered the data capture and validation up to the transfer step. Let's have a look at the 6 different modules. The Manager module. The Manager module is the heart of the ReadSoft INVOICES system. The Manager module, you will initially configure and set up your production environment. You manage scanners, documents, services, and users. In the Manager module, you also configure the different profiles used to capture data off your documents. Job descriptions are also created in the Manager module to instruct the different modules what to do. Customizations and add-on functionality along with maintenance tasks are performed in the Manager module. The invoice profile holds all settings specific to a document type, such as invoice number, invoice date, PO number, and the amount fields. A typical ReadSoft INVOICES environment contains of 2 profiles, one for purchase orders and one for general expenses. ReadSoft INVOICES utilize title-based search to identify and extract data of all fields to be captured. ReadSoft INVOICES will read all characters on the invoice and to locate, extract, and validate the data. For the field invoice number, the system is instructed to look for titles such as invoice, invoice number, INV, NBR, and so on. Titles can be removed and added as needed to accommodate a wider range of supplier invoices. ReadSoft INVOICES does not utilize true templates and fixed positions to find data. At any given time in production, you can list and sort invoices. A user-friendly grid of the data is presented for you to sort, search, and find the documents you're looking for. In the Manager module, you can delete scanned invoices, you can reroute purchase orders to general expense profile, unlock lock objects, and perform maintenance tasks. By use of an Active Directory integration, ReadSoft INVOICES enables single sign-on. A process log is kept of all action taken on an invoice to accommodate for troubleshooting and audit scenarios. The Scan module. The Scan module is the first end-user module that requires human interaction. End users will simply feed the scanner with paper invoices and select from a batch screen what is about to be scanned. The ReadSoft INVOICES Scan module is compatible with a number of scanners. Make sure the scanner you're using is present on the ReadSoft certified scanner list. Black and white images in 300 dpi resolution are recommended, and all scanners should communicate with an ISIS driver. In the Scan module, thumbnails of every image scanned will be shown in the bottom of the screen. End users will fill out the Scan Helper screen to indicate what documents and corresponding index data to be scanned. The Interpret module. The Interpret module runs as a service on a Windows server and is the first non-user interaction module. The Interpret module will identify the supplier, capture and extract and validate the field data configured in the invoice profile. Depending on the outcome of the OCR, an appropriate status will be assigned to the invoice to instruct the next coming modules on what to do. ReadSoft INVOICES performs a full-page OCR to extract all data of an invoice using the OmniPage Pro engine, along with ReadSoft's own developed OCR engine. You can see how the different color codings indicates logotypes for supplier determination. Green boxes for titles and red boxes for values. Line items are also extracted and indicated by a blue color. The Verify module. The Verify module is the second end-user module that requires human interaction. Depending on the result of the Interpret module, invoices will appear in the Verify module. End users will validate, add and correct data where Interpret module either was unable to find the field or where validation errors occurred. End users will be presented with a user-friendly start screen called the Verify inbox. When you receive a supplier invoice for the first time, the system will record and later reuse all your actions. You're training the system at the same time as you're processing the invoice for payment. Displayed to the left is the image of the invoice. To the right, the header data, and in the bottom, the line items. The traffic light system controls the accuracy of the captured data. All fields on an invoice must have a complete status and a green icon next to it for the invoice to move to the next step. End users can zoom in and zoom out, resize the data fields, and make the screen comfortable to look at. Integrations to vendor master files are common in this module to accommodate and help with vendor determination. The Transfer module. The Transfer module is the last production module, and it will release and transfer the metadata along with the image file to the next coming system. The invoice image file format can be converted to formats supported by next coming system. Most common are TIFF and PDF files. The Transfer module can produce CSV or XML files for the metadata. The Transfer module can also directly interact with third-party systems. ReadSoft offers integrations to a large number of workflows and ERP systems. ReadSoft also offers fully certified integrations to SAP and Oracle e-business suite. The Optimize module. Optimize is a non-production module that provides you with the ability to fine-tune the OCR data capture results. Some suppliers use different formats and data elements than others. This can be accommodated in the Optimize module. Optimization is not required for all your supplier invoices. You should focus on the large volume suppliers. The 80-20 rule, where 80% of volume is generated by 20% of your supplier, is almost always true. Focus your optimization work on your top 20% invoice contributors. Optimize can also be used to apply filters to an area on the invoice where the OCR engine had difficulties to capture and understand the data. By use of the search grid in the Optimize module, you can identify suppliers that are in need of optimization work. You can also see what supplier invoices are avoided by end users due to poor image quality or other reasons. ReadSoft Invoices is a modular system for data capture and document automations in an accounts payable environment. ReadSoft Invoices provide front-end data capture that dramatically improve the entry of payment processes of invoices. ReadSoft Invoices utilize OCR technology to automatically capture, extract, and validate your invoice data. For more information, please see readsoft.com or contact us at 888-ReadSoft.